I'm with Clout. You know, as far as Shaquille O'Neal is concerned, I think he's virtue signaling a lot. You know, he Sweeney, you was talking about him having troubles. You know, he joined the NBA in 1992, and he got with he married Shawnee in 04, 02 or 04.
Yeah, Shawnee. Yeah.
You know, yeah, and they were only married for 7 years. So he was filthy, stupid rich when he married her. So he had problems picking them then. No harder than he has them picking them now. It's tough to pick women when you got, money like Shaq. And see how that went. That lasted just 7 years. Just 7. We've been doing King Talk for 3. So just keep that in mind when you think that it's, when we listen to Shaq of all people out here saying, oh, the problem with my relationship with me and and I'm lonely and all this other kind of I'm with Cloud on that. When it comes to Shaq, it's like, come on, Shaq. Shaq is probably the happiest he's ever been right now. But is there a reason why the Most High said it's not good for a man to be alone? Listen, you guys, relationships is the goal. JR asks the question at least once a week over on YouTube. On Facebook. For those that don't know, Lapeef has a Facebook group, very, very active Facebook group. So everybody watching the show, please run over to Facebook, type in Lapeef in the search box, hit groups, and you'll see the group in there. Chicago Rilla or JR will let you in. It's a very active active group over there. And he says, and JR asks all the time, is marriage the goal? I don't say marriage. I say relationships are the goal. Here, let me give you a quote from one of my favorite books. The pages of history are filled with the records of great leaders whose achievements may be traced directly to the influence of women who arouse the creative faculties of their mind through the stimulation of sex desire. Napoleon Bonaparte was one of these. When inspired by Napoleon's first wife, Josephine, he was invincible. When his better judgment or reasoning faculty prompted him to put Josephine aside, when he got rid of his wife, that's when he began to decline. His defeat in St. Helena was not far distant. Arguably, Napoleon was the greatest general that ever lived. His military genius was it redefined warfare, and he kind of reshaped Europe. Women stimulate men. God knew that in the first book, and it's true today. And I don't know how many people are single on the panel. I'm single. I'm not sure if Kenny is single. Mostly, I know, and I'm not sure if B Madden is single. I believe everybody else is in a relationship or married. And I want you guys to remember, man, don't take for granted what you're going to experience tonight when you go to bed with your woman laying next to you. Because I'm not going to be able to experience that. Clout, I have a big house. And I have a small house, and it don't make a difference, like he said. I had a woman. We broke up recently, so I'm single again. So that scent of a woman and that smooth skin is motivating, man. It gets your creative mind running, and it allows you to do the things that we do. A lot of the stuff that a lot of the world is built because, not necessarily because women had some utility in the world, but because she just gave men what we needed mentally. And so, like my man Hink was saying, fuck that. Just that sitting by yourself all alone shit is for the birds. It's absolutely for the birds. Now, what happens is when you get in a relationship, you take it for granted. You take that woman, you take her hair getting in your face, or her sleeping on your arm and your arm going, cutting the blood off and getting tingly and going to sleep. You take all of that stuff for granted until you don't have it no more. And then you be like, damn. But hopefully none of you brothers that's in a relationship will ever experience that again. I'm experiencing it now, and I wish I was in your shoes. So I personally believe that it's not good for a man to be alone. I think it's absolutely a requirement for a man to be with a woman. And I'll end there.
All right. Go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna stall that one out. I'm gonna stall that one out because
Like I see you shaking your head.
yeah,
Nah,
I'm gonna,
Shan cooked. I ain't got nothing else. He cooked on that one.
yeah.
Yeah, that was like that.
Go ahead, Marcus.
What's going on, Marcus?
No, the first statement in regards to men pretending to have a happy life because they don't want to admit they failing. That's more the doom and gloom I was talking about. So that would be the equivalent of me saying a lot of the single men are in nobody on the panel, mind you. I'm not talking about nobody on the panel, right? That'd be the equivalent of me saying a lot of the single men are happy, and have good women in their lives, but can't talk about it because then they couldn't produce the same content. That's equating a false narrative to something that you don't know either way. So if I'm gonna throw a false narrative and throw another false narrative, especially to the negative side, when we trying to talk about the positivity, that's what I was just talking about in the last segment.
Marcus, can I help you out with that one?
Yeah.
Because actually, when Shan said that, it resonated with me. So I'm on record on these platforms plenty of times saying the mother of my children, we were together for 10 years. My bad, 10 years. And I always say I was with her 9 years, 364 days too long. One of the reasons why is because had I left, to Shan's point, it was a sense of duty, absolutely, for my kids. But that fear of failure was right there for him. That's a very real feeling for a lot of brothers, to feel like you failed in your relationship or you failed in your marriage, right? And so a lot of dudes will forego that. And it's because, to me, it's not even so much, when I think about it, it's the sense of duty in my kids was there, but that fear of failure was very real and present too.
So to that point, really, do you like, I'll tell you right now, if I was having relationship troubles, or if some of the men that speak positively about their relationship, I would think we have enough integrity to, if we at the very least just keep our mouth closed and not engage in the conversation. Why we get up here and make out a whole life is good just to be saying that?
Hold on, Marcus, you are absolutely right on that point. Absolutely. Oftentimes, and I won't say this, I've been on a panel where people, a man would talk about his wins, or talk about how grand he is, talk about how great he is. And then the moment you ask him, well, what happened here? They clam up. Oh no, that's only my business. I don't want to talk about it. Like, because you don't want to talk about your L's. But that's the reason why these spaces are so important for us to be honest, because if you don't talk about the L's, because that's why what Marcus says don't sound real to a lot of people. That's why when Clout said, hey man, my woman celebrated my birthday 30 days in a row, that shit don't sound real. Because it's, most men don't experience that. And there's nothing wrong with most men not experiencing. That's an abnormal thing. But we are so used to hearing all the wins and we hear everybody is great. Everybody's 100,000 there. Everybody makes this. Everybody's rich. Everybody got a house. Everybody sells Bitcoin. Everybody got the perfect woman on this panel. And then they sit there and be like, well, shit, man, Clout woman celebrated his birthday for 30 fucking days, and he ain't even married to her. And here, my wife only gave me a week. And then we'll say that, then a guy will say, hey, man, yeah, man, my wife did a whole little week for me, man. She had 7. Oh, no, bro, man, your girl will give you 7. Your girl will give you 30 days if you do it right. And then the guy sitting there looking at it like, that don't even sound real to me. I thought I was cool. I thought I was swinging for the fences with my wife. Because a lot of times we do also look at the men that are doing things to, you know what I mean, just what works for them, and then we tell them how shitty their relationship is.
That was my point, because I get that, and I'm empathetic to that, and I absolutely, it may not seem like it, but I am trying my hardest to be empathetic to that. That's why I wasn't even gonna say nothing to the beginning thing.
No, I was, yeah. Hey, Marcus, I felt you when you said that, bro, because it does feel like, man, I think it would work if we were if the space in general was a lot more honest. We would be able to have that open dialogue to where, you know what I mean, men can be honest on these panels and be like, hey, look, man, shit ain't always easy. Shit gonna hit the fan. It happened to me.
But Shan just shared his
what's
L's
funny?
though.
Yo, he did. He definitely.
If you look at his
that
IG,
was the
Shan
main
was
reason I didn't want to go into it because the beginning part, he
but
said
that's
a
the
lot of good
realness
shit.
but that's the realness we need, though. To Sweeney, to your point, that's the balance that we need. Because if you look at Shan IG, I don't know if he scrubbed it yet, but the Joker was just posting all the happy pics.
Okay,
of him and his girl.
Yeah.
So that's the real spill that we need in the space. You know what I'm saying? And